Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we are going to be reviewing Shadows of Brimstone, Forbidden Fortress.
And this time we are going to be focusing on the belly of the beast, which
And this time we've actually played.
we played 2 missions in the belly of the beast.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this right off the bat. It is the creepiest, most disgusting place you could ever imagine playing in. It's literally inside the gigantic innards of some monstrous, I'm going to go Godzilla-sized creature.
Actually, considering some of the pieces, it's probably about the size of this. I mean, one of these.
Yeah, it's a big
And
giant monster.
depending on how the map layout works, it could actually seem relatively small.
Right, but it's still disgusting. You're inside its stomach and brain and mouth and other places we're not going to mention. But we had a lot of fun. We played our first/second level party, and we took out some of the monsters, like the Dishonored Dead and the Living Statue. We did fight the Oni.
The living statue wasn't there.
Yeah. And but we tried to keep it to like the acid blobs and the tentacles and the acid spitter things. I forget what they're called right off the bat. And it was a lot of fun. It's got a lot of great cards. The encounter cards are great. The darkness cards, everything is tailor made for this particular environment, as it should be, as all the other sets are. And it was just downright disgusting. You just felt like you needed a shower after the game, even though it was pretty late when we finished both games. What'd you think?
It's good.
It's good, yeah. Deadpan man over here.
By the way, before I forget, thank you, means a lot. And second, you've convinced me, we will.
You should know who that is. That's a special secret message to one of our good friends out there. But what we want to focus on is, in addition to what comes in the basic box, we added a couple of things.
First, the
Astral Tyrant, which, despite its XL size and...
It is bad, yes, it's bad, but it isn't that bad.
Yeah, let's let the camera maybe get a really good zoom in on that.
It's...
Little guy did another bang-up job painting another horrific monster.
I actually kind of did a really bad job right here, but I just managed to, hide that with wash.
It really is creepy looking.
I'm not saying it...
I like it better than the way I would have painted it. Or the way...
he was just going to paint it.
Yeah, I was going to paint it just like the card. Very bland.
But
kind of
neither
creepy,
of us
kind of
really
gross.
like that one.
Yeah.
This one is amazing.
The box art image is better.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's going to play well with the derelict starship, which is a great idea of making the monster available in 2 completely different locations, so that Forbidden Fortress players have a reason to grab it, and derelict starship players have a reason to grab it. I want to go over its stats real quick. Not everything. You don't want to give all the gory details, but it had 50 health, I think, when we fought it, and
that's because of players.
Yeah, and we had 4
added players.
4 second level characters with really nothing special, right?
Kind of, aside from spells.
Yeah, well, yeah, but our party could have literally been first level, and probably would have had about the same chances. And mind you, there were some other monsters in the room with the tyrant. It's defense 3. That's middle of the road. It's combat 3. Damage 2 is kind of weak, in my opinion. It's
again, brutal is still a thing.
Yeah.
Which we're not looking forward to having to switch to brutal again.
Yeah.
It's never good. I mean, it'll probably start getting less.
Yeah, this is one
soon.
game. I actually admit that it's more fun when you're lower level. In a way,
Just because you never have to deal with 5 defense, 6 defense.
and going through a stack of
10
cards
health.
to figure out what you have. It just makes it real simple. It's just a
Yeah.
do or die situation. Its ability to spray goo at you, I think, missed the mark.
Because he forgot about it.
No. What happens when it hits you with the goo is it just gives it one more attack for every goo marker.
Actually, we did use it.
Yeah.
Once.
If it hits you with his breath weapon, it then later on can hit you more times.
Which may or may not have gotten someone almost killed.
But I think it would be scarier. It only has 3 attacks, with its little claws and stuff. I think that if that number was higher and the damage was higher, that would have made it a lot scarier because, you can fend off the goo markers and those attack type, bonuses. If it's only going to do 2 damage, for an extra attack or an extra 2 attacks, and then you get your defense and stuff like that. It's just, it's not, it's one of the weaker XL monsters I'm going to go with compared to the Magma Giant or the Targa Guardian. It's, I'd rather face it a couple more times than go up against, a lot of other monsters. Let's just put it that way. We also popped in the Bone Eaters, which are also very middle of the road. Just, run of the mill.
I mean, there's only 6 of them for a reason.
1 attack, 4 damage. Their attacks also get beefed up if you have noise markers because they're blind and they do everything by sound. So that if you do a bunch of things before you kill them off, they get a whole bunch of extra attacks. But with a melee of 4, it should have been. Yeah, it's a 3 on brutal. That's why. They're creepy little monstrosities and 10 health each. It's it's a fair encounter. I'm not gonna play it down.
Usually they're split into the 12 monster or where there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
So 12 is the max, then 6, then 3, and then you have the big ones like this.
Exactly. And they make for perfect monsters inside Belly of the Beast, and I could see them even being in the Forbidden Fortress. They came through a portal or something like that. But
I mean, anything can be anywhere.
Yeah, right. But I think they're better suited for the Belly of the Beast, and they're really not. I'd rather face them than magma fiends that chew up the terrain and burn everything and those kind of creatures. Even though you get, do you get 12? Yeah, you get 12 of those little guys.
That's true, you do.
I'd rather fight these than a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But all in all, if you get the chance to get these 2 sets, I would actually wait to go into the Belly of the Beast once you've picked up these 2 sets, and they're not super pricey.
Because usually when you first, especially Swamps of Death.
City of the Ancients.
Yes. Actually.
Yeah, that's
it. Swamps of Death. I meant Jargano and Targa, but same thing. Jargano, Targa, Belly of the Beast. Those sets, or not those sets, those other worlds aren't complete until you get everything else. Like, you can obviously play them.
Yeah,
you have.
Right out of the box.
People have.
You
can still, obviously, it works. But you don't, for example, some of the bigger monsters, why are you going to be fighting a Goliath in the snow or a statue in the Belly of the Beast?
Right.
The Harbinger makes a tiny bit more sense to be in Jargano because almost anything can be in Jargano.
Yeah.
Almost.
Right. It's just, all 3 box sets, you get a lot of playability out of them regardless. Just that if it seems that, when you're playing like the mines or the Forbidden Fortress, and then you go into the second world that comes in the box, you've kind of hit most of the monsters that come in the box. So if you wanted to spice up, the Belly of the Beast or Jargano or, Targa, you might want to pick up a couple other expansions just to spice it up, before you burn it out. Because once you've done every mission, even just like 2 or 3 of each worldly missions, you're going to have encountered everything, know their little weaknesses and know tricks to fight them. So it's always a good idea to, try and pick up, some of these other expansions. But like you said, you don't need to. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory. You know, you'll have a great game no matter how you look at it. Because let's face it, it's probably the best dungeon crawl board game, tabletop board game that I'm familiar with. I wouldn't recommend any other unless you're just not into the ninja thing or not into the cowboy thing, which, you know, obviously we love all
and of course we haven't, well, he does, of course we haven't played all of them.
Yeah.
And there are probably ones that are
out
either
there.
better,
Yeah.
or can compete,
Mm-hmm.
or they're just in general really good,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know about that many.
And if you want to recommend a game for us, feel free. We're always looking for new stuff to try out here at the Shadow and Sun channel.
Definitely.
You know, we've played Hero Quest, you know, and that's a great game. But again, you know, limited monsters, you know, so after a while, you know, you're looking for new expansions. And that's what one of the things I like about Shadows is that there's just, you know, there's almost 100 expansions now. I mean, at least 50. You know, I could be off by, you know, 20 or 30, but, you know, I'm being a little hyperbolic there. But
I don't think there's 100.
Yeah. Maybe when the next Kickstarter comes around, though.
Perhaps.
Which we are highly looking forward to. But with all that said, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoy the game. You know, feel free to leave us a comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to all those new guys that hit us up this last week, it's been a record week for us. I want to thank you all because most of you guys didn't, you know, you're on private, so we don't know who you are. If you want to chime in, you know, we'd love to hear from you guys. And
that's about it. And Armstrong, thank you. Good night.
Bye, everybody.